Hello, welcome to Life Talk from Monday, August the 30th, 2017. I'm Mark Crutcher.
And I'm Renee Hobbs. Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate you being here, and we got a few things here to talk about. First, we didn't put it on the list here, but let's give everybody an update on Houston. We really don't hear much about whether the CPCs down there or how they've been affected or not, but it's hard to imagine that anybody in that situation was not affected.
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard about the devastation that's going on there. Family and friends there, and deaths have occurred that my friend knows of, and
right.
Just
it's
lots of devastation going on.
Bad situation, really bad. And now, is it Port Arthur? They found out the entire city is underwater.
Yeah.
And another city that they're looking at maybe. And everybody's been concentrating on Houston because it's so big, but all these little towns around there.
Around it, yeah, and it's going up east towards Louisiana, but they are seeing the sun now in Houston, which is a good thing. And
yeah, but it's far from over. And matter of fact, I don't think that deal's going to be over for years.
Oh no, absolutely not. The damage that has happened,
and the lives have been disrupted, and
kids here now in North Texas going to school here and living in shelters until.
Yep.
Things get resolved.
What is it? At the Dallas Convention Center, 8,000 people they're putting there.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, and they're actually opening up the Fort Worth Zoo this weekend, free of charge for anybody that's from Houston. They just have to show ID, which is pretty cool.
Texas has really done itself proud on this deal.
Absolutely.
People have seen what kind of people live in Texas.
We are definitely pulling together.
Right. It's amazing to see. But anyway, it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
I just learned about this. We got this article. Here's what one pro-life organization is doing to save 1 million unborn babies. And they're talking about the Knights of Columbus. Mm-hmm. And I knew the Knights of Columbus was involved in getting sonogram machines for crisis pregnancy centers and mobile vans and all that sort of. I didn't know they'd done as many as they have.
Right, and they are still trying to buy more to get more money for it.
They've bought already 829 ultrasound machines for pregnancy centers and mobile medical units. Since 2009, they bought 829. They're right now, Carl Anderson, the head of Knights of Columbus, is saying that their goal is by their 10th anniversary of this project in 2019 to have 1,000 machines in use at that time.
Yeah.
And they're saying if each machine saves 4 babies a month, or something,
a week.
A week, 4 babies a week. That'll be 1 million babies that they've saved through that project.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
great.
Hand it to them. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yep. And
ultrasounds are extremely powerful tools. I mean, if a mom goes in and sees her baby sucking his thumb or moving around, or just you know it's a baby. It's not a blob. It's not a cluster of cells or something. It's a baby.
All the lies she's being told by Planned Parenthood and the other people in the abortion lobby. Those go out the window, and this is one reason that the pro-aborts fight so hard against crisis pregnancy centers even having ultrasound machines.
Passing that law that they have to show the mom when she goes in. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise you that when that law is passed and they have to show the baby moving and point out the organs, that they turn the screen. So
they're
the mom
told to
can't
do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's astonishing, and they might as well get ready because it's like I talked about in my book Siege. This technology continues on.
Yeah.
Very shortly, we're going to have holograms of babies.
That would be so cool.
For people that don't know what a hologram is or may not know what this is going to make possible, they'll put the wand on the woman's stomach just like the ultrasound machine, and the baby will appear to be floating in air right beside her.
Yeah, and you can twist the baby. And
3D or 4D, I guess. They're
4D,
moving the baby all around, and she'll be able to see that baby.
All of the little features of that little baby. And the cute little baby honey.
God.
I had to put that in there, sorry.
I don't know what it is with you and these pictures of baby honey. Anyway, the other technology is the 3D printers.
Yeah.
And instead of having the little plastic models like we've all used for a million years of a generic unborn baby, a woman will be able to be handed a model of the baby that she's carrying at that moment.
And maybe we'll use that for another million years.
And yeah, maybe. Let's hope not.
No,
We want to get this over with.
That's right. We don't want to.
But anyway, our hats go off to the Knights of Columbus for what they're doing here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep. I didn't.
That's awesome.
The reason I brought this up is, like I said, it's not a brand new deal because they've been doing this since 2009. But I didn't know they had bought 829 ultrasound machines.
Yep.
That's not cheap.
Yep.
So they're committed.
Yes, they are.
Now, Princeton, talking about people that ought to be committed and different kind of commitment. Princeton University, whose problem of long-standing,
Yeah.
any university that has as its professor of bioethics, Peter Singer, who says parents ought to be given a year after birth to have their baby euthanized so they can decide whether they're ready to be parents or not, or they bond with the baby. They don't bond with it, they just take the baby down and have him killed.
Yeah, right.
That's what he says.
Just as simple as that. Nothing
Right.
to it.
He's the head of bioethics at Princeton University. So nothing they could do would be too surprising. But Princeton is sponsoring a Planned Parenthood event. And the thing that outrages me about this, you say, well, what's the big deal? It's what you expect of a place like Princeton, a place that is completely lost any semblance of morality and decency. This is being sponsored by the Religious Life organization,
Yeah.
Religious Life
Yes.
at Princeton.
Yes, I get that.
Associate Dean of Religious Life, Teresa Thames, and Program Assistant Maya Warman, and they're posting on Facebook how fully enjoyed co-sponsoring and attending the pro-abortion Run for All Women fundraiser.
Yeah, and that it's about health care and women's rights and empowerment. Let's not forget that one, empowerment over women. So laying down on a table and having your baby sucked out is empowerment.
Empowering.
I tell you what, and Princeton, to remind everybody, this is where Liz, the professor, came from, Liz Harmon, that said, if you're going to keep the baby has moral rights. But if you abort the baby doesn't have any moral standing whatsoever. It's just the most insane.
It's just, we played that, and making fun of this woman. I don't think she's even smart enough to figure out she's being lampooned.
Yeah.
And those two guys that were interviewing her, with mouths hanging open, thinking, what is she talking
This
about?
is insane.
That's where she came from.
Yeah.
But this is pretty astonishing. Pro-life event. I mean, pro-lifers on the campus say they're outraged. Oh, I would think you would be. But my question is, why are you at Princeton to begin with? You know what kind of toilet this place is. Right?
Yeah.
Just because it's an Ivy League school doesn't mean it's not a toilet. It is a toilet. And that they tolerate the people like the woman like you're talking about, that professor there, and Singer and all these others. I know one thing. If my kid had wanted to go to Princeton, she wouldn't have got a nickel of support from me to do it. Of course, my kid wouldn't have gone there. But that's another story. Now, there's a situation going on in New Zealand, and the reason I bring this up is because this is exactly what's happening in the United States.
Yeah, I was going to say, I posted on Facebook that just because this is going on in New Zealand, it is going on here.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere in the United States. The university has voted to ban a pro-life club from being a part of the campus, from being officially recognized by the campus. Ackland University Students Association said it would no longer recognize the club. 1,600 students voted to ban the pro-life club, while 1,100 voted to keep it. And the big-time pro-abort on this campus said that the pro-life students are an embarrassment.
They are an embarrassment.
They are an embarrassment. These people are degenerates.
Yes, they are.
Like these others we've been talking about here at Princeton. But this is going on, and you need to know about this. And we've talked about it on Life Talk before. This is going on all over the country, all over the United States. This is not anything unusual. And we're fighting back against it. We are aggressively fighting back against it. And we've told you about our direct mail, campus direct mail program that we're doing. And just to recap that real quickly, they can keep maybe pro-life groups from forming on campuses. And like I said, we're seeing this all over the country. And they can keep displays from being put on, like did here at SMU, where they're saying these students can't set up these crosses anymore. Just crosses that for babies that are aborted. No, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be able to do it somewhere 100 miles away and they're
Yeah,
free speech
they have
zone.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I can't understand. Why isn't a college campus within the United States a free speech zone, the whole campus?
whole thing.
The whole thing. I don't know why you, in other words, we can draw a little line in the sand there. I have free speech on this side of the land, but on that side of the land, I don't have free
Yeah,
speech.
it doesn't make sense.
It's talking about embarrassment. That is one. But anyway, what we're doing is we're going in on these college campuses in a way they cannot stop, they cannot ban, and that's through direct mail. And we've done this in the past. It's been very successful. We are now re-energizing the program because we see all these things going on, all this nonsense going on these college campuses. We're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to have the pro-life movement censored. And the reason this is so important right now is what the pro-aborts are doing is fighting back against the tide of younger people becoming pro-life. And the young people are the fastest growing segment of the pro-life community, maybe comparable to blacks that are coming into the movement because I'm off at 21. But anyway, they're fighting back because they know. I think the pro-aborts know even better than most pro-lifers know that the most important battleground in the pro-life battle right now is the college campus.
Yeah, right.
Because this is the future.
You're going to win them or you're going to lose them, and
you're going to lose the battle. Right?
Such a battle.
Right. And so we're not going to cede to them this ground. That's why we're energizing this campus direct mail. And the problem with direct mail onto a college campus is you can't buy a mailing list because the professional mailing list companies that we normally deal with don't create mailing lists of college students because they change every semester. By the time they get the list created, it's outdated.
Yeah, a new group comes in.
Right. So what we have to have, the good news is we don't have to have the names of college students. All we have to have is the addresses. And those addresses don't change from one semester to the next. So we've been recruiting people all over the country. We have, was it 19, 20, somewhere around there,
Something like that.
that we've recruited
Right.
to go on college campuses and just get us the addresses.
Yep.
They go to the dorms, they go to the student housing, they go to off-campus apartments, they go to the post office boxes and get the post office box numbers.
Right.
We are creating mailing lists from that.
Yeah, and we already have several
Already got some big
And-
schools.
big schools in. Yep. Good stuff.
Good, big. We're going to try to do in our initial mailing, we're going to try to do it the first semester, which is now starting. We're going to try to do 10 to 12 schools. That's what our plan is. Right now, we've already got several in that we've got to put all the addresses in our database, which is a Herculean task.
It's a chore.
Right, but we're going to do it anyway. And we're going to be sending them very aggressive direct mail. It'll have graphic images of abortion to show them what abortion looks like, and it'll have facts and figures about abortion so that they don't think it's health care. It's not health care. It's a contract killing, and that's the message we're going to be delivering, and they're going to know that. They're going to know that, we can't assume that college students are any more knowledgeable than the American people as a whole. And you go out on the streets and you find out, if you ask people, what do you think about abortion? They'll tell you, they're almost always done very early in the pregnancy. Well, most of them are.
Right.
But they're always done because the baby's unhealthy or the mom's unhealthy. It's going to kill her. The reality is you take all the hard cases, rape, incest, threat to the life of the mother,
Right.
fetal deformity,
Yeah.
and they make up about 1 to 3% of all the cases.
It's such a lie.
98% of all abortions in this country are done on perfectly healthy women and perfectly healthy babies for non-medical reasons. That's not health care. That is a contract killing. And we're going to deliver that message very aggressively along with the pictures of what an abortion looks like. That's a first trimester baby we're using, so they can't say, the abortions never happen at that stage. Yes, almost all abortions happen at that stage. So we've like you were saying a moment ago, we've already gotten quite a few in. We've gotten some big college campuses already, and we've got some more on the way, some very good ones, and we've got some very good people out there in the field that are really excited about this project. And this is going to be something that's evergreen. We can be able to do this anytime we want to once we get all these names put in there.
Yeah.
And I think when this thing hits, I know for a fact because we've done it before, the pro-aborts go absolutely berserk.
Go for it.
And they melt down. So does the media. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to get more people on more campuses that are going to be calling us saying, how do we get involved in this?
Yeah.
And it's a real exciting project, and we're really looking forward to the future for this. But this is the way that we circumvent the censorship of the pro-life message that's going on college campuses all over this country, and you're like this thing here in New Zealand.
Yeah, because like you said, they can't stop it.
They
There's
can't stop
nothing
direct
that they
mail.
can do.
There's nothing they can do.
Yep.
And by the way, when we've done this before, they've tried some pretty innovative things to stop us. One time we did it, they called the FBI on us and said that we were engaging, are you ready for this?
I know. Yeah, go for it.
We were engaging in interstate transportation of child pornography,
Yeah,
interstate distribution of child pornography, because the baby that they had killed that we're showing a picture of didn't have clothes on.
Yeah, it's so sick.
These people are sick.
They're twisted.
They are twisted.
Yes.
The FBI agent that called me about it said, he said, I just wanted to let you know that this was happening. He said, but we were laughing at him, saying, look, you know, you can't even remotely make an argument that this is interstate distribution of child pornography.
Yeah.
And so the FBI went away. Then they went to the United States Postmaster. And I actually got a call, not from one of his assistants, but the top guy at the United States Postal Service in Washington, D.C. called me about it and said that they were trying to get him to prohibit us from being able to mail. And he said I had to tell them the same thing that the FBI told them, that you don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
And as long as they are not sending out anything that's threatening or pornographic, you can't keep them from using United States mail.
Yeah.
And so that's what we
Good for
that's
them.
where we are.
Yep.
And so they can't stop it. And that's one of the reasons they melt down so bad over this, is there's nothing they can do to prevent it. When pro-lifers set up displays on campuses, if they're allowed to, the pro-aborts show up with big sheets and hang it in front of them, or they
Yeah.
destroy them,
Or kick. Yeah.
kick them over or break them,
Yeah.
kick the crosses over and snap them in half or whatever.
I mean, they can take these postcards and rip them up and throw them away, but
But they can't keep their
that they
neighbor from
can't.
getting one.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So we're going to be mailing to these students on these campuses.
Yep.
And it's an extensive project, and so we need some help financially, of course, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be a good project. And we know it works because we've done it before.
Yeah.
And we should have been doing it all along. But now that the campus has become so much more important than it was back when we started doing this 15 years or so ago, we got to be back on these campuses, and this is the way we do it. This is how we circumvent the
Yep.
censorship. What else you got there, Sunshine?
Nothing. I just want to make a comment to Laura, if you're still watching. I know that you said that you're new to this whole abortion thing, and she's only been in it for a year, and it is super overwhelming, but just baby steps and one day at a time, and lots to learn. There's a ton to learn.
How old does Laura say she is, or does she?
She doesn't say.
Okay. I tell you what, Laura, you contact Renee at the address we put up on the screen, and we will make sure that you get a free copy of Line 5 that I wrote in 1996. And everything that's in there is still applicable today. And I'll also send you a copy of my latest book, Siege. And that'll help maybe bring you up to date a little bit, and help accelerate your learning process, because there is a tremendous amount to learn. That's hard to imagine, but it's like when you came here 6.5 years ago.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Very much.
And even then, you didn't realize how much you had to learn.
And
you
how much
still
I
learn
still
every day.
have to learn.
Right. You still
Yes.
learn every day, and so do I. I've been at this 35 years, and I still learn things that I didn't know before. So,
She's 29.
29. Okay. Well,
Thanks, Laura.
not that matters. We can still send it to you. But we'll send you some stuff for watching and for making your comment. So we'll get you out some stuff. Just get your address to Renee and your street address so we can send it to you. But here's what I want to tell you about Laura, and anybody else that's watching that has the same thoughts that Laura has. Don't look upon education as the destination that you're going to, as if you'll ever arrive there. Someday I'll know everything there is to know, and then I can quit learning. Education in the pro-life movement is a journey. It's not a destination,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
You're not there yet. You've been here 6 years.
Yeah.
And you're learning from the master.
I know it.
Right.
I am. He has all the answers. If I could just plug a little tube into his head,
No.
into mine, and just drain all
I don't
of
think
his
you'd want to see.
information.
I don't think you'd want to see what would come from that tube. But nonetheless,
Okay.
you do have to look at it Laura, as a destination. I mean, as a journey and not a destination, because you will never get there. I've not gotten there. I've been at this 35 years. But anyway, and you've not got there, even though you're a lot smarter than me. You've been here 6 years, so you've just about caught up.
Right.
But we still haven't gotten to where
Yeah.
we want to be.
Yep.
And we never will until this thing is over and we can all sit around and
Fight a different battle.
fight a different battle, one that maybe is a little bit more fun to fight because the stakes aren't so high.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else you got?
Nope,
Anybody
that's
else
it.
talking to you?
No. That the person LJ from UK, I can't say their last name, but I did show you on Monday.
Yeah, you showed me. I
Yes.
couldn't pronounce it either. You'd think if it was an English name, we'd be able to, but there's names right here in Texas that I can't. You know.
Yeah.
And you hear people live in Texas mispronounce Waxahachie or some of the other Indian names that we have
Right.
in here in this area, or in going to Oklahoma. You get
Oklahoma, definitely.
Oklahoma definitely got more of them.
Yeah.
But,
Nope, but that's all. So just send in your suggestions for shows. We would appreciate it. And if we use the show, then we'll give you a mug.
Yep.
So,
And we'll give you whatever, just like we're going to do with Laura. We're here to serve you guys. That's the point we've tried to make since day one. The other point we have to make since day one is Life Dynamics is not here to put up a good fight. We're here to win, because winning is how the killing stops. We will see you on Friday.
bye, everybody.